Hello, welcome. We are going to get started in probably 2 minutes. We'll give everyone an opportunity to join. So probably right about 12:01, we'll get the show started. We've got a couple people just trickling in, so we'll just wait 1 more minute before we get going. But thank you for joining us. We're so excited to present this house today. Just a couple more seconds and we'll get going. But for those of you that are here already, we're going to be answering questions throughout the demonstration or throughout the presentation. So if you have questions, please share them. We ask that you use the Q&A function at the bottom of your screen. And we'll just be monitoring that throughout the whole presentation. Okay, 12:01 looks like the logins have kind of slowed down, so it's probably a good time to get started. I am Katie Smith. I'm going to be co-hosting today, which means I'll just be monitoring the questions. So please use the Q&A function. Ask any questions that come to mind. We're happy to talk about this beautiful house. So send your questions our way. But without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to Chuck Wines, who will be leading the presentation today. Take it away, Chuck.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, so my name's Chuck. I am a regional sales manager up in the Portland metro area, and I was a home ownership counselor for a number of years with Adair Homes prior to that. So a lot of experience in assisting customers and helping buy their homes. Today, we are going to look at a significantly modified 2512 Creston Plan. So the 2512 Creston Plan is popular because I would call it really kind of like a family plan. It's got a master on the main with the kitchen and the utility room and the dining room space, and then a lot of bedrooms upstairs. So it's a real good popular plan for the parents to get the downstairs, the kids to get the upstairs. It's got a nice bonus room upstairs. In this particular house, we did, and we'll show you through the video and on the plans, but we did a couple large changes to the plan. So one, you'll see no garage. They opted for no garage. I'm going to guess they've got a big freestanding garage on the property already. And then secondarily, we enlarged this house. The house is 6 feet wider than the normal Creston Plan. And we gave that space in the bottom level to the dining room and the great room. And then in the upstairs, we utilized that extra width to create a dual master plan upstairs, so that there's 2 master suites, one downstairs, one upstairs on this plan. You know, a lot of the customers we talk with now, that's a strong driving interest in them looking into building is multi-generational living and things like that. This plan has an option as a standard plan to do a dual master suite upstairs. But the way with the widening of the home, it actually allowed us, in this case, to save the bonus room. A lot of times that'll just take away your bonus room upstairs. And it left 4 full bedrooms upstairs, one of which being the dual master suite. So that's kind of the main changes that we made to this plan. I'm going to go ahead and narrow this screen down, and let's pause it. And we'll talk about the plan specifically here for a minute. So the Creston Plan is a very popular plan. Like I said, we built a lot of them throughout the house. It's got, for exteriors, we've got a few different options. And move a couple things around here. Okay, here we go. For the exterior, we've got a few different options. This is the classic look. You can do it with a front or side garage on this plan. We generally show front garages just because of city lots and things like that. More often than not, customers are doing the front garage option, but it does have a side garage option if you've got a wide enough property for the house. On our classic look, you'll see it's a simple design, classic in all sense of the word. So it'll be lap siding top to bottom. We've got no windows in the garage door, no windows in the front door, and no, kind of extra roof peaks or anything like that. So it's lap siding all the way around. This house has a nice front porch, regardless, even at a classic level, it's got a nice front porch that comes with it. Up from there, we will go to what we call our traditions house. So on the traditions, you can see we add this peak right here on the house, just for ornamentation. Really, it's not a structural peak. It's really just to add to the aesthetic. And in this case, we do two siding types. So you'll have the lap siding, and then at the peaks right here, you've got the batten board siding, and then on the upper level, you've got the batten board siding on the front. You'll also see that on a traditions home, we add some more decorations. We add this belly band right here to separate the sidings. We add corbels in the peak, and we trim out around the windows and the doors with hardy trim. You'll also notice that we add windows into the garage and the front door with this plan. We'll jump over to the signature. So take a look at this peak here, and it'll jump out at you. So right there, you then get a dual peak right there. So just again, more decoration to the front of the house. In this case, we also added what's called a dental rail right there. So just more architectural interest on the separation of the different siding types. And then secondarily, we also do more decorative work on the posts, on the support posts. This is showing optional items as well. This is showing an optional wraparound porch on the side right there, and then optional stonework. So when you look online at our pricing, that's not included in the base price of the house. Those are options that you can add in. And then lastly, we've got the farmhouse look. So that's what we'll be looking at today. It's a farmhouse aesthetic. That is when we'll do batten board all on the front of the house, top to bottom. We add window grids to the front of the house. Real nice looking front door. It's a farmhouse style front door. And then like this little shed eyebrow that we'll put over the garage door, and more of a farmhouse style garage door on it. So a lot of nice features on our farmhouse looks. To give you an idea, I'll kind of front run it because a lot of people have these kinds of questions. This house was in outside of Newburgh, Oregon. So the pricing that I'll show you here is based off of that area. So the base house of a farmhouse of what we're looking at today is $288.49. After we added the square footage, so the house we'll show today is actually over 3,000 square feet, 3,020 square feet with the additional space that we added. And with current pricing, I would say that this house is going to, with the features and amenities and the finishes that you'll look at today, ended up closer to about $440,000 for the 3,000 square foot house. For those of you that aren't familiar, so that's just going to be the structure. The prices that you'd also have to consider are, land purchase if you don't own the land, and then site development costs for, every property is different, but for the excavation, the permits, septic well, or your utility hookup fees, power to the property. So a number of things that would go into site development would have to be accounted for to come up with a total price. But today we'll just kind of talk about the house and the structure of the house. So let's go into looking at the floor plan. I'll make
Can I interrupt for
Sure.
1 second? We just had a handful of attendees join, so I just wanted to say welcome to everyone. And if you have questions as Chuck is talking, please let us know. Just use that Q&A function at the bottom of your screen, and we'll be monitoring that throughout the whole presentation.
So here I'll show you the standard floor plan for this house. So like I said, it's kind of like the adults downstairs, kids upstairs kind of a plan. I really like this plan though. So you've got a nice size master primary suite at 12 by 14 with a generous walk-in closet. You've got a master bath that'll have an option for a master bath upgrade. You've got a utility / mud room right off the garage with your utility hookups, half bath downstairs for guests, and then an entry into the great room, dining room, and kitchen. The kitchen also has a nice size pantry on this plan. Then we go upstairs, and it's a lot of bedrooms. So you've got 4 bedrooms and a bathroom upstairs with a very large bonus room. So a ton of space upstairs, you know, in this plan, the way we design it. Now I'm going to show you, and we might bounce back and forth a minute, to the plan that we did for this customer and what we'll be looking at today. Let me enlarge this. First, I'll start on the outside, I guess. So let's scroll down before I review the floor plan. So on the outside, so as you can see, we did the farmhouse look, which I'm a big fan of. And then the customers added a wraparound porch around the side. When you do a farmhouse, everything is going to be a hardy plank on the outside. So it's hardy batten board, hardy lap sidings, currently hardy trims are on the outside of the home. And then generally speaking, on the other elevation, so it'd be lap siding, these customers requested that we do the batten board on the side of the house. My suspicion is that you drive up to the house, this is probably the visible side of the house as you drive up to the property. So they wanted it to kind of match the front aesthetic. But then when we go to the rear and the side elevation, it's more just a traditional lap siding. We did do a large patio cover on this house. So here's the patio cover that comes off the rear patio. And we'll see that as we kind of go through the plan. Now let's go back up to the floor plan. Okay, so the big hitters that I'll point out here. So on this plan, when you work with a home ownership counselor, you don't have to take the plans just the way they are. You can modify the plans and adjust them and work with a home ownership counselor to really kind of design the house that works best for you and your family. So, you know, so that's what we did in this case. I think it's, you know, a good experience. And if you haven't explored it yet, reach out to a home ownership counselor so they can talk to you about it. The big hitters on this house. So we've got an extra large patio cover, 12 by 14, and we can really do just about any size. Like I had pointed out, here is the wraparound porch, 6 foot wide, going all the way down that side of the house with the can lights up in the soffits. This right here, we widen the entire house, top and bottom levels, by 6 feet. So this is a wider great room space, a wider dining room space. And in conjunction with that, they wanted more of a formal entry space as you walked in. So we added this wall right here with that extra width. You know, it's kind of created the space of the great room separately from your entry. So you can kind of walk in into more of a foyer into your house. On this house, at the customer's request, they requested that we don't do the island. So we removed the island right here. And I'm sure they've got their own plans with something that they're going to do in the future, or maybe they just wanted that open space. You know, it wasn't good space for them. Okay, other options on the main level. So we also deepened the master suite right here by 4 feet, which you'll see right there, enlarging the master suite. So in conjunction with that, we took the standard pantry, added 4 feet to the size of the pantry, and didn't impact the size of the walk-in closet because the walk-in closet just moved back in conjunction with that. And with some of that extra space, we've got a slightly larger utility space, and we sort of modified this master bathroom to fit more of what they needed. They didn't need, you know, they didn't want a tub downstairs or anything like that. They just wanted a shower. And so we actually pushed that space to give them more of a full-size utility room in the downstairs level. Now, if we go upstairs, okay, so this is where you'll kind of see the big difference. So we added 6 feet, and where before this was all just one big, huge bonus room, we took the opportunity to kind of combine this and make a secondary dual master suite upstairs. So a really large master suite upstairs. When we go to the video, you'll see a tub and a shower, dual sinks upstairs, really large walk-in closet that goes in conjunction with that. We did eat up some of the bonus room space, but it's still a fair space right here. It's definitely a TV room, you know, kind of a hangout room for the kids and things like that. And then we've got 3 additional bedrooms and a secondary bathroom upstairs that remain with the standard plan. You'll see the furnace is located right there in just a little furnace closet. And yeah, there's kind of the standard of the plan. So you can see that we've modified a lot of different things on this plan as we go through, and I'll kind of point some things out as we watch the video. Was there any questions, Katie, before we move on? Okay. let's open up the video. Make this full size real quick. Okay, so there's your farmhouse look. Like I had mentioned, all hardy plank siding on the exterior of the home. We've got the window grids. On a farmhouse, this is a good representation. We do cedar posts with knee braces. So you'll kind of see that as we rotate around, but they're really nice, aesthetically pleasing, kind of cedar posts on the front of the home. Okay, so we'll pause here, point out a couple things. So on the homes, you'll have a base price and you'll have an upgrade price. So as we said, the base price of this house right now is $288,000. And I was estimating this house to be about $440,000. So the things I'll point out in this plan are kind of what they paid for upgrades. Of course, the big one was adding the 500 square feet to the house, was an expensive option. But typically speaking, your standard options for flooring is going to be carpet and vinyl. Your standard countertops are going to be laminate with subway tile backsplashes. So the wood floors that we'll show here, the granite countertops, the farm sink, the tiled showers, those are the kinds of things. Those are kind of how we build the price for the full price of the house. So what we'll see here is this is the wall that we added to separate the space. And we'll head into the great room and the dining room right now. So this is engineered hardwood floors. Mackenzie maple gold dust is what it's called. It's a really pretty kind of golden wood floor. We added some windows on this plan. So we added this side window over here. So obviously they've got a really nice view. So we wanted to optimize windows on the side of the house right there. This house has a 9-foot plate height on the first level. So all the houses will have an option to increase the first level ceiling height to 9 feet. When you do that, you will also increase all of your window sizes by 1 foot on the main level. So you get 1 foot taller windows, 6 additional inches in your upper cabinets, a taller garage door. All of those things are kind of bundled together with the 9-foot plate height. For a couple custom options, you'll see right here that we do not have the island, as I had mentioned earlier. And then there's small things that people can change throughout the plan. So there's typically cabinets that surround this space right here, but the customer wanted a larger window. So we deleted the cabinets and the customer enlarged that window space so they could look out the back.
We had a couple of people pointing out that are wondering where the garage was, which I think you kind of breezed through earlier on. So yes, just confirming this family did choose to delete the garage, which we of course can do.
Okay, so we'll pause here. So the reason why I think they're going to probably do their own thing with the island is they requested just a couple standard lights up in the ceiling right there. And I'm imagining that's for when they install something for like pendant lights that'll go over the island and things like that. Upgrades in the kitchen. So painted cabinets are an upgrade of the plan. Typically the plan will call for a stained beechwood cabinet. And then these customers opted for white painted shaker door cabinets. Let's see here. We roughed in a space they're going to do their own wall oven setup after they move in. They had their own vision for that. So we just kind of created the space. And if you give us the model number of what you're looking to pursue, we can have the cabinets spec'd accordingly. All the cabinets are made as custom cabinets per house. They're made per house. So modifying cabinet options is something we do with a lot of customers. So if you want your garbage pull-out drawers, if you want a built-in spice rack, if you want a wine rack, all those kinds of things are available. You just kind of talk to your homeownership counselor about the sort of details that would come with that. The customers did opt to keep our standard appliance package, which is just a Whirlpool stainless steel range oven combo set. Again, they've got it modified, so I think they're going to do their own thing after the fact with the appliance setup. From a faucet standpoint, we work within a brand of families, so we use Moen for all of our plumbing fixtures. The customers opted for, at the time, the standard was a chrome set. Currently, we actually recently revised our standards and we're using a brushed nickel. It's called the Cena collection from Moen for our standard faucets. So before, where we would have chrome options as standard for your bath accessories, your lighting fixtures, and your plumbing accessories, we've transitioned everything recently to brushed nickel finishes as our standard, just because most people were opting for that in the first place. So we attempted to do that. In the kitchen, you'll see standard flooring. That is a sheet vinyl called a hive swarm sheet vinyl flooring. But we did do upgrade on the backsplash and the countertop. This is a granite called Miro Mist Toned. It's a black granite. It's really pretty up close. And a farm sink, a really nice farm sink on the house. So I'll kind of play and we'll go through the kitchen here for a moment. There is the farm sink. That's a Kohler farm sink is what it is. It's a Nero Miss Home. So like I said, I'm assuming they've got their own, we spec the cabinets to a different appliance package. So I think they were purchasing and doing their own. When it comes to cabinets, we only work with 2 brands currently, is our family brands, and that's Maytag and KitchenAid. So if people want to do different brands and things like that, then again, we just ask for the model numbers and we'll spec the cabinets, as you can see there. We're going to head into the pantry here. This is where you'll see the enlarged pantry. So this is 4 foot deeper than your standard pantry on this plan, because we also increase the size of the master on the other side of the wall here. So when you'll see when we come in here, it's a very generous pantry space.
Chuck, can you give us an idea on kind of a range of cost to go to the taller ceilings like this house has?
Yeah, the 9 foot plate height is roughly, I don't have the specific number in front of me, but between $10,000 and $11,000. So nice open space downstairs. You can just barely see the patio coming off the dining room there, and that's a 12 by 14 patio that we did. So it's a good size. It's a really good size patio. Actually, no, it's a 14 by 14 patio. So yeah, it's a very large patio for your outdoor living. And with widening this, it really is a large great room space. So yeah, I think that was a really good choice. It's a good way to get to about 3,000 square foot on this plan. The customers did the painting themselves. I'm not sure if they physically did it themselves or if they contracted it, but they did a really good job. You'll see as we go through the plan, they painted the doors black. It comes through really sharp. And then you'll also see they did an upgraded trim package. Our standard trim package is a colonial, which is kind of like an angular profile based trim package. They went with more of a thicker, taller, square edge molding on the house.
Hey, Chuck, couple of questions.
Okay, let's do it.
There's a little confusion on the appliances. So what are our standard appliances and what are the upgrade options?
Standard appliances are Whirlpool, stainless steel range oven combo, which you'll see right here, microwave, and dishwasher. So we don't provide the fridge. So those are the standard appliances. You've got upgrade options for what we would call gourmet kitchen appliances. That's going to be your 5-burner cooktop, either electric or gas. That'll be built-in wall ovens as opposed to the range oven combos. Our standard gourmet kitchen appliance package includes 2 wall ovens. It'll be a microwave again. And the brands that we use for that are Maytag Whirlpool and KitchenAid for the gourmet kitchen appliances. So the Whirlpool is a more affordable gourmet kitchen package, and then the KitchenAid is more kind of high-end appliance package that we offer.
Perfect. And then question from Adam on that patio cover. Can we do tongue and groove on the underside of the patio cover?
Absolutely. Yeah, there's a couple of ways to do it. If you just want to tongue and groove soffit, or if you want to kind of pushed off so you can still install can lights, we can work with you kind of in any direction, sort of as what you're sort of picturing in your mind there. But at some point I might take you to some pictures that we've got of some other houses if you'd like to see that.
Perfect.
They did do an option that we don't recommend in this house, is they requested to do the entryway, the hallway, utility room, and the half bathroom downstairs, all is standard vinyl. Typically, we don't do that because in this largest spaces, you'll end up with a seam somewhere, and seams are unreliable with things like this. So we made an exception in this case and just noted to the customer that it's a non-warranty item if they have a problem with the seaming, because we don't recommend it as a standard practice. But that is just standard vinyl through the hallway and the utility room and the half bath downstairs here. Get a better look at the Craftsman trim right here. So more of a, like I said, a kind of a square edge molding around the doors. That's a 5-panel door. Our standard door is a 6-panel. They did a 5-panel door. A whole house, I think that's usually about a $600 option. So nothing too crazy there. Your half bathroom will come with a pedestal sink. Again, you can work with your homeownership counselor. Some customers like to have a basin sink down there just for storage and things like that. So we can convert that pedestal sink into more of a cabinet with a drop-in sink if that's something that you prefer, and can work with you on pricing that out. Heading here, understair storage. So try to utilize all the space in a house. So given the opportunity for understair storage, we will try to take that opportunity for you and add a door and give you a light and some space down there for storage. Okay, so now we're heading into the utility room. Utility rooms come standard as we kind of come around the corner here. Pretty simple. It's going to be, a washer and dryer hookup. Your water heater will be in there, and that's about it. Generally, they'll also, I don't see it here. Right there, yeah. And then we'll put a shelf above the washer and dryer space. Utility rooms have lots of cabinet options. So if you want uppers and lowers and additional cabinetry in the utility room, by all means, we can work with you on adding cabinets to the utility room. Our standard water, this is showing our standard water heater, A.O. Smith 50-gallon heat pump water heater. So really nice standard water heater in the houses. And then this door is just going to the outside right there.
Do we always put the water heater in the utility room?
Not always, but a lot of times you will find it in the utility room. The heat pump water heaters require adequate space, and they work off of ambient temperatures the way they function. So they are most efficient in conditioned living space. It's got to be a large enough space, so it's got enough air to work with. Okay, so we modified this master bathroom in conjunction with the utility room. So this is smaller than a standard master bathroom. They wanted that space to go to the utility room. So a couple of the changes we made is we centered the sink. Usually the master bathroom has dual sinks, a his and hers. They only wanted one sink downstairs, and so we moved it to the center. And then where we had a tub space in here, we now just instead, as you walk in and turn around, you'll see that we did a tile shower instead of adding that space. They've got their commode there in the corner, and then a nice tiled shower. Our tiled showers, we give you a lot of options on a tiled shower. So you can do a fiberglass floor to save costs and things like that, or you can do a tiled floor. So you'll see here, it's got the 2x2 squares for the tiled floor. The customer added the bench right here, the little foot bench. But generally speaking, all of our showers will come with the built-in niche holders and things like that. And we can do a lot. There's a lot of custom options for showers. So if you've always wanted a spa shower of some type, talk to your homeownership counselor. We've designed some really cool showers for customers in the past. So we'd love to work with you on that if you've got a vision of your own spa. And you'll see over here, this master suite ended up being about 13 by 14 after we added some space and kind of reconfigured a few things. And then we go into the walk-in closet here. So
So if a customer was interested in having matte black door hardware and plumbing fixtures, is that something we can do?
Yeah, we are actively, so it was actually a question I asked today. We are hoping by the end of this month that we will have matte black finishes available as a standard option for customers. So I know that there's a Moen line of matte black plumbing fixtures. We already have a source for all of your door hardware and bath accessories. We have a source for all your bath accessories in a matte black. I think the last piece we were trying to wrap up is sourcing light fixtures that were matte black, and it sounds like we must be there because it's by all accounts we're ready to start offering that to customers. We can do it right now, except for the light fixtures. It's custom options, but here real soon it'll just be an a la carte option that's available through us.
That's very exciting.
Yeah, it is very exciting. I think we're going to take a long stroll to the upstairs here. So any questions to answer at this time, Katie?
I have one that I was saving for the end, but I'll throw it at you now.
Go for it.
So Maria says, if the pricing is only for the structure, where do you suggest we buy property? Is there a specific community or subdivision where Adair builds, or what can we do to help customers find property?
Well, so Adair Homes does not have property ourselves. We don't own property or do subdevelopments. We're an on your lot builder. Now, I would, depending on where you want to be, I would call your local office. We, at all the offices, they've got local realtor contacts that can help coordinate the purchase of a property for you, depending on what you're looking for. And all the offices as well would have, resources available to you to organize your site development work. So contacts for excavators and things along those lines to help get the site prepared to build the house. So if you have not done so yet, definitely talk to the office where you're looking to build, and they can start coordinating that for you. Because we'll build on city lots, we'll build on 5 acres, we'll build on just about anything that's a buildable lot that's available for customers. So, but it is something that you'll sort of will help put you in contact with somebody, but something that you'll be responsible for finding. Here's our farm door as we go upstairs. Standard on the stairs is carpet. So we can custom option wood stairs if you like, instead of carpeted stairs. And this is called an Alamo square carpet from Shaw Flooring. Okay, so here's bathroom 2 right here. So this is like the general use bathroom. And then 2 bedrooms just on the far end of the house. Just kind of small changes. In this bedroom typically only has 1 window. We added a second window in this bedroom. So I'm not sure if this will end up being more of an office space. And they wanted to bring in more light into this room with their bypass closet door right there. This is a good picture of the standard. So standard on the windows. So we use gelled wen for all of our windows in the house. And from a trim standpoint, the standard windows come like this. So it is 6 inches of drywall wrapped around all 4 sides. So we've got lots of options for windows. Some customers opt just to do window sills on the bottom with a little apron piece. And then other customers are looking to have the windows fully cased all the way around inside and out around the windows. So depending on what you want, we can work with you on making that happen. And we'll jump into the other room over here. Nothing going to be too exciting about this one. It looks a lot like the other one. I will take a note. I was looking through this customer's order sheet, and it's something to kind of think about. The customer did a lot of different options as far as electrical things. They had a very clear idea of all the electrical options they needed in the house. So, when you build a house, you can build it the way you want it. So if you know you're going to put a dehumidifier in your closet or a wine fridge or, a freezer somewhere, you can get all that electrical stuff handled with us right up front. Much easier to do than trying to circle back and do that later. Okay, so bathroom 2 upstairs has a single sink. The customers opted just for standard finishes as far as the countertop and backsplash goes. So this is a laminate countertop with a subway tile backsplash, which is what we would call a standard in the bathrooms. There's a standard tub shower unit, which is what will be standard in all of the bathrooms. In this case, it'll be the tub shower with the toilet in that room, so you can kind of close that space off. We don't install shower doors at a base price, but we do have sliding shower door options as well, if that's something you might be interested in. This is just a little linen closet outside of the bathroom. And then, so this is a much smaller bonus room than normal, but like I said, we built in an entire second master on the upstairs right here. So this is more of a, I kind of picture it as like a TV PlayStation space, basically, One thing that you'd note on the plans, knowing this is a dual master suite and this was going to be a bonus room space, we added soundproofing on this entire wall right here. So to help deaden the sound between, if somebody's kind of hanging out in the bonus room and somebody else wants a little bit of peace and quiet in that room, that wall has got interior insulation all the way across for soundproofing. Furnace closet, like I had mentioned. So that closet's pretty much used up with the furnace.
Maria is wondering if centralized AC and heat can be added.
Centralized AC and heat is included in the base price. So you can do either, if you're going electric, you can do a heat pump with an electric furnace, or if you're going to go with gas and propane, we include natural gas furnace or a propane furnace with an air conditioning unit, and that's built into the base price of the house. Excellent question. Just waiting for us to get to the second master. What do you guys think? Are you a fan of the black doors?
I love the black doors.
I like them.
I think they're fun and different. You like
Okay,
them too?
so a really good size second master space up here. Nice, large size windows. You can see why they wanted the extra windows. They've got a nice property. Okay. So our standard, when people want to do a tub, our standard tub is one of two. It's either a fully fiberglass soaker tub or what we call a deck mount tub, where it's dropped into a tiled deck surround and you drop the tub in. This is a black freestanding tub that the customers added. So I got to find out what it is. So it's called a Ray Antique Black Hammered Copper Soaker Tub with an overflow drain, and it's got a freestanding tub filler faucet that came with it. That tub is roughly about $7,000, just to give you an idea. If you want a freestanding metal copper hammered soaker tub. Our normal tubs are more of like $2,500, but if you want something that's real specific like that, we can generally source them and install them for you. And with the tub shower unit in here, real popular option on showers is not one shower head, but 2 shower heads. So if you ever have an opportunity where people are sharing a shower, then you can add a second shower head, so nobody's got to be cold. So this bathroom would be more representative of our general master bath upgrades, with a space for a space for a soaking tub. And then when you come around, space for your walk-in shower. Again, just standard countertops and backsplashes in the bathrooms. We install mirrors in the bathrooms. Nothing too fancy, just mirror glued to a wall. And then this space came with a really large walk-in closet on the upstairs. So you'll see, like, neither one of these master suites is small. You know, they're both good spaces on both ends of it. For people that want to do their own kind of closet organizing systems, we've got a double shelf and pole option where we can add a second set of shelf and pole for you to double the hanging space in there. Or we can delete the hardware if you've got a grand vision of like an IKEA package that you've always wanted and things like that. And we would give you the opportunity to install that during the build if you wanted. Again, standard flooring in this bathroom. The Hive Swarm vinyl.
Chuck, do we do any kind of warranties for our homes?
Yeah, you know, the simple answer is I kind of call it like the 1 year bumper to bumper. So you get 1 year that covers fit and finish and all of those kinds of things. So, you know, little things will happen as a home settles. You know, you might get a nail pop here or there or some small issues. And then we also do a 10-year structural warranty on the home. That'll be, you know, your roof, your foundation, you know, the primary components of your home is included with every home that we sell.
I think I have a question that might stump you, and I'm pretty excited about it.
Okay.
So Adam says, if you choose a natural gas furnace, why do we use an air conditioning unit instead of a heat pump?
Let me pause this. I don't know, but I do know in my personal house, I have a natural gas furnace in my house and I had a heat pump and I hated my heat pump and I battled it for years and years and years. And we finally got tired of it. And then when we called them to replace it, they said they had no idea why anyone would install a heat pump with a natural gas furnace. And they strongly encouraged us to do an AC unit when we did it. So I don't know if it's efficiency, you know, meeting state energy code requirements. You know, I'm not sure what the motivation is, but when I replaced my personal one on the house I've been in for 15 years, they were dumbfounded that anybody would put a heat pump on the natural gas furnace. And so when we replaced it down to an air conditioning unit as well, and I've been much happier with the performance. So
I would think that the heat pump would be a good option or a bad option depending on your climate, especially, but I can weigh in on this and say that you can choose to upgrade your AC unit to a heat pump with your natural gas furnace.
Yeah, we will do it. Yeah, I've definitely seen people do it before, but I tend to take the advice of professionals. And yeah, anytime I've dealt with the companies that deal in these, that's what they always recommend. So I've kind of just gone with their recommendations on that. Because a heat pump will always work off of ambient temperature. So they're only especially from an air conditioning standpoint. So if you live in a hot climate, they'll only function to a certain extent, and then your house just gets warm. There is the wraparound porch with the cedar post right there.
That porch is beautiful.
Yeah, they did a nice job. They modified this well. They thought through this very well. You can see we built in the rain on this one. It can be a muddy mess, but we will survive and it'll dry out. Okay, now we'll kind of back off the front right there. So yeah, house came out beautifully. Very excited about it. And let's minimize this. Kind of go to the standard floor plan right here. And then, yeah, so we'll give you guys an opportunity to kind of Q&A us as much as you want. But short of that, I think we kind of accomplished our goals.
I saved some of my favorite questions for the end.
Okay.
So we have a question. What exactly does the base price include?
So we'll tag team this. So it is your house, your garage. So typically this house comes with I don't know the exact size, but a 22 by 22 garage, I think, is included with it. So your house, your garage, your finishes, your standard finishes would be vinyl for the wet areas. So your bathrooms, your utility room, your kitchen, dining space, carpet for your great room and your bedrooms and hallways, beach stained cabinets in the house, stainless steel appliances from Whirlpool. So the range oven combo, the microwave and the dishwasher. So you're on your own for the washer and dryer and the fridge, regardless. The garage will be drywall taped. But it will not be insulated. It'll just be drywall with tape and finish, no texture, anything like that. But we can work on you with further finishing the garage. Let's see here. What am I missing, Katie? It's a limited lifetime IKO architectural roof, all hardy plank siding around all four sides of the house. So there's no T111 anywhere. It's all 2x6 exterior wall construction. Heat pump, air conditioning, heat pump or air conditioning unit is included in the base price.
The water heater.
Water heater, of course, yeah.
I just say in summary, this is a move-in ready house at the base price, with the exception of the washer dryer, the fridge, and the interior and exterior paint.
Oh, the painting. Yeah, good call. We do not put painting in the base price currently. It's something we're working on rolling in, but as of today, you could do it yourself. You could contract it out yourself, or you could pay to have us do it, but it's not in the base price. The garage credit on this house was only $5,200, so they really must not have needed the garage.
It looked like they had some outbuildings there.
Yeah, they had outbuildings, so yeah, the garage was not usable space for them. So they would rather do their tub. I paid for their soaker tub, I guess. The hammered copper soaker tub upstairs.
That was cute. You kind of answered this already, but Molly was wondering if the garage is finished in the standard option.
Finished but not insulated. But we can insulate it as well if you'd like.
You can add insulation, you can add texture, you can add paint, but it is drywall and fire taped.
Ceiling light fixtures are included in the price. We put can lights in the kitchen. It's usually 5 in a kitchen, 4 in the main body, and then 1 over the sink. But different size kitchens will have different amount of can lights, but we do that. And then ceiling lights in all of the bedrooms and hallways. No lighting currently in the great room necessarily. So we can add can lights to the great room, or we can add regular ceiling mount lights, or we can add just prep work if you want to do ceiling fans. We don't have ceiling fans, but if you want us to do the double switching and the wiring and the mounting box for it, we'll do that. And then you can purchase whatever ceiling fan you want. Plumbing and electrical is included. Permits are not included. Permits are wildly different. You'll find jurisdictions with $3,000 permits and jurisdictions with $25,000 permits. So that's something that you'd explore with your local office to discover the price of what your site development might look like depending on where you're building. I would just have us paint. I've had, there's a question on if we recommend outsourcing. I've had customers outsource it. And painters are hard to get a hold of. They're hard to get to commit to timelines. So I would say, will you pay slightly more to have us do it? Probably. You'll probably pay a little bit more to have us do it, but we take it on, we coordinate it, we execute it, and we hold them accountable to the timelines and things like that. Where in my experience, customers that outsource it can kind of struggle with coordinating it because painters are a flighty bunch in general, or can be. And they're just busy like everybody else. So I would say our price is fair for us being able to coordinate that for you, and I would just do it. Katie, what do you think?
I think I agree. I mean, we have a lot of customers who are kind of do-it-yourselfers, so there's definitely an opportunity to do your own painting. But sometimes
I say that because Katie's building a house, and I'm sure she's going to do her own painting. But
I'm absolutely going to do my own painting. It's pretty much my only skill. So I saved a big question. So if somebody was going to use a construction loan, what do they need to plan to pay out of pocket? Do they have to buy their own property? Do they have to buy their own permits? What can they include in their construction loan?
Okay, so you'll want, again, talk to us. We have a lending partner, Adair Financial Services. that does construction loans. That loan will pay for the entire project for you. It'll purchase the property. It'll pay for all of your site development costs. Your permits, your excavation, your sewer hookup, your water meter. It'll pay for all of your site related costs, and it'll pay for the house and roll it together in one bundle for you. The standard down payment is a 5% down payment for the whole project build. So if you're spending $400,000, you're looking, in the $20,000 range from down payment. So 5% of what it is what you would put towards a down payment. And with that 5%, they will pay for the whole project. As you guys, anybody on this is probably aware at this point that things have been kind of volatile in the building industry. So currently all construction loans use a 10% contingency. So just to use easy math, let's say you've got a $500,000 loan. They're really only letting you spend $450,000, and they're setting aside 10% or $50,000 as a protection fund for you, so that you're protected in the process. So that's kind of wise right now. Things have seemed to stabilize, but it is wise to leave yourself a little bit of flexibility with it, because building can be hard. You just don't know you just don't know what's going to happen when you go into the process. So it'll cover you for unexpected surprises in the process through the construction loan as well.
I love this question from Molly. So if someone's kind of maybe at the tip of their budget, what are things that we recommend they upgrade later rather than upfront?
Well, it's kind of up to you. A lot of people do their own flooring. Personally, for me, I think that's a pain. I wouldn't want to do that. I'd probably do if I was to do something later, I'd probably delete backsplashes and do standard countertops, and then I would do the granite and quartzes kind of later. Little things like the fixtures, you can always do those things later. Plumbing fixtures and light fixtures and things like that can definitely be done as time goes on. I encourage people to do the flooring now, just because tearing up moldings and base moldings can be a bigger job than I think people expect when they try to do that stuff on their own. Katie, what do you think?
I have a couple answers to this. So we do a lot of investor builds, so we've kind of seen what investor priorities are for upgrades, and I would say probably kitchen counters and flooring in the common spaces are the top two upgrades I do for investment builds, which is interesting. But I think what's nice is that even if you don't upgrade anything right now, it's going to be a beautiful house. And within the standards, like say standard vinyl flooring, we have 30 options to choose from, a lot of options. So there's a lot of customizations and personalizations you can use without doing any upgrades. And then as far as everything else, just totally personal preference. If you love your solid surface countertops, maybe that's an upgrade you do up front, or a place where you choose to spend money.
Adam asked how much the changes and upgrades cost above the base price of this house. So this house, they spent about $120,000 in upgrades, but you have to note that also added 500 square. One of those options was adding 500 square feet to the house. So that was a what is that, about a $40,000 option, of that $120,000. So that added quite a bit by itself. But their floors, just to give you an idea, so the wood floors in the main level was the wood floors. Hold on, I'll find it for you. Wood floors on the main level. Well, the tile shower. So the tile shower was about $5,000. I'm kind of semi-coordinated. The granite countertops and the granite backsplashes was about $6,000. The wood floor was about $5,500. The cabinet options were about $2,000. So, but you say $5,000, $2,000 enough times, it adds up. Like I said, about $11,000 for the 9-foot ceilings. I'm sure the patio cover. What was the patio cover? 14 by 14. Hold on. The patio cover was about $13,000. So yeah, so you kind of build it. Now, the nice thing about working with us and things like that, so, not to get too deep into the process here, but, we work with you kind of working backwards. We'd have you get pre-approved for a construction loan, understand what your budget is. And then once we have a property and a general idea on what your site development costs are, that'll kind of drive the upgrades, right? We can just run the math at that point and be like, okay, we've got $30,000 on upgrades. We got $100,000 on upgrades, but we'll have some idea when we go into picking the cabinets and the floors and things like that, kind of where your budget's lining up. And that way, people do it different ways. Some people treat it like Christmas, so they'll just pick everything. They'll just all the options they might want. They'll pick all the things, and then we'll give them a line item quote, at the end of the meeting, and you can take it home. You can look at it. You can prioritize all your upgrades the way you want to. What's important to you, and then get yourself in budget that way. I would say it's how most people do it.
Okay, would you mind talking about excavation and foundation? Who is responsible for these items and how much to expect to pay for them?
Excavation, kind of impossible to answer on the excavation. That is very property dependent, depending on the slope and the grade and the size. So it's really hard to say. The customer is responsible for the excavation of the property, and we do the foundation. So you basically give us the flat spot to build the house on, and we pour the forms and do the foundation and take it up. Now, we haven't gotten into this. We do have a turnkey option. So a turnkey option, we will hire out ourselves the excavation of the property, and we will handle the excavation. We'll handle other things, because our standard path is what we call like a sweat equity path. Homeowners handle the excavation, they coordinate that. They don't have to personally get on a backhoe, but they're coordinating that piece of the build. Homeowners are working with the jurisdiction for the permitting process. They're hiring somebody to do the septic work or install a well, and the utilities, and then they'll do their own cleanup. They'll do their own debris removal from the property. So there's definitely a route that increases affordability, but I would tell people, you're going to plan on being on site 5-6 hours a week, kind of lending your hand somewhere in this process, doing different things as the job goes on. With turnkey, we'll handle the excavation of the property. We will do the flat work outside the house. So we'll do the driveways and the porches and the patio, concrete work outside the house. We will do the cleanup. We'll do the debris removal. I'd say it probably adds about, that service probably adds about $15,000 to the build. And then I can speak for the regions I've worked in. We don't do septics and wells, but oftentimes the people that we do have doing the excavation work either do it themselves or they have a direct contact that they can help coordinate that with you as well to sort of simplify that process. So if you're busy or if you're out of state, we can pick up more of the pieces. No matter what, you're going to be working with the jurisdiction on permitting, and you're going to be working with the power company on turning permanent power onto the property. And then depending on the lot, you might have to get with a soils person or something like that. But we can definitely hold your hand more or less through most of the process.
I would say too, rely on like the homeownership counselors at Adair are amazing. Call your local ranch and just say, here's what I'm looking at. And they can say, okay, based on this area, based on this property, here's the ballpark you should expect for your site prep budget. It's not going to be exact to the dollar, but it'll get you a good idea of whether or not this is, an endeavor you want to pursue or maybe go a different path on. So rely on them. They're smart and they can help you.
Yeah, and we're not really trying to be distant about it, because I've seen properties have site development at $25,000. I've seen properties have site development at $150,000. So it's very property dependent on what your site development costs are going to look like. The goal is to have the black hardware at the end of the month. So that's what we're all crossing our fingers for. And we can get it now. It's just more of a custom option, but we're going to get it.
Actually, I don't know the answer to this one from Molly. Can we do things like Shiplap or Wainscoting?
We can.
I did not know that. Okay, this is kind of a lot of variables, really open-ended question from Molly. But it's a good question. So you mentioned flooring, but what are some projects people generally try to take on themselves and then realize it was a lot harder or involved, or there was a lot more steps than they thought?
Well, so just to be clear, during the build, you don't get to do anything. Okay, so we're building the house. So for people that decide to do their own flooring, we're installing standard carpet, we're installing standard vinyl, and then when they move in, they're picking up that project after the fact. So it's not something that we'll coordinate during the build. Our timelines, we try to keep it as tight as possible and things like that. So we can't just kind of stop the jobs for these reasons. Secondarily, we warranty the house and things like that. So we'll of course only warranty our own work and things like that. So if you're going to kind of be a do-it-yourselfer, plan on doing it after the build starts. I would say, gosh, what is hard? Don't do your own tile work. You'll be disappointed in your own work. And same thing, personally, I think a lot of people are disappointed in their own painting quality when they do their own painting. I hire people to do stuff because I know I lack talent. Katie is a very talented person and she can do all kinds of things. So it's kind of depends on you and what you're comfortable doing. I've tried doing tile work and then it just costs more money to have someone else to fix my work. So
I think that my husband and I are at the opposite end of the spectrum from Chuck. But so we chose to kind of spend our money on upgrades on things that we couldn't do later. So structural things and things that we have done before that we didn't want to mess around with. So it's just totally dependent on you and your experience and your skill level. And we spent our money on taller ceilings and patio covers and that kind of stuff that we knew we weren't going to take on later.
yeah, and I would always tell people to do that exactly. Get the house you want, get the structure the way you want it because you only get one shot at that. And then second, the thing that I always tell people to do, at least in the kitchen and the bathroom, things like that, is get the cabinets you want. You're never going to replace the cabinets. Or if you try to, it's going to be way more expensive than just doing it the first time. So get the cabinets you want in those parts of the house. Now, a lot of people will do cabinets after the fact in like the utility room, they're not tied to having the cabinets be the same through the whole house. But definitely get the kitchen and the bathroom cabinets the way you want them now.
Okay, we have so many questions. This is great. Molly says that she was 100K over budget. I can relate to that, Molly. But she's working with the Twin Falls branch. That's awesome. And yes, they are incredible. That's awesome. And then Maria, I apologize if this was already asked. What is the approximate length or timeline of construction?
Okay, Maria. Well, welcome to COVID 2021. And things are hard right now. Things are a challenge. So this is so the answer I'll give you is the most honest answer I can give you. I would say from the time you're signing papers with a homeownership counselor till the time you're moving into the house, I'd plan on 12 months. But I'd also plan on being flexible because in some areas, the jurisdictions are taking a long time. So some jurisdictions are taking 4 or 5 months to approve permits. And that's out of your control. That's out of our control. That's out of everybody's control. In some jurisdictions, they are very challenged with, supply chain disruptions and plumbing materials and, different components. Every time you turn around, there's a new supply shortage in some regard that might pause, productive activity for a little while people try to solve this problem, try to solve that challenge. So I'd say 12 months is an honest answer. But be prepared for 12 to 14 months. And if things go swimmingly, maybe it's 10 months. So, but most people are in pre-construction. So permitting, excavation, getting the power turned on for 4 to 5 months. And then most active construction is around 6 months. But maybe plan on 7 to be cautious. Are you experiencing the same thing where you're at, Katie?
Yep. Oh, can I install my own cabinets?
Nope.
That is a great question, Mike. I'm working with a customer whose family owns a cabinet shop. And so he was like, it's so weird for me to be sourcing these when I can do my own. So what Adair did for him is they deleted the bathroom vanities from the house, but they were not able to delete the kitchen cabinet. So we can get rid of the island and the bathroom vanities, but the kitchen cabinets will have to be installed. And then for Maria, so the building materials pricing will be locked down. Question
When
mark.
you sign your contract with the home ownership counselor, we lock the price for 120 days from the day the order is accepted. So when you sign your contract, it'll take a week or two to have it ratified and everybody looks at it and make sure no errors were made. But in essence, once you sign your paperwork with your home ownership counselor, your price will be locked when you sign your contract documents. At that point, it's locked for 120 days. So in that 120 days, you've got to get the property purchased. If you don't own it, you've got to or close on the property, pay the sellers off, get your building permits approved. We'll write and prepare all the permit documents for you, but you'll work it through the jurisdiction. You'll have to get power to the lot, power to the property, and at least temporary water set up for the build. Let's see here. Those are the big hitters. So you got 120 days to do that. Should you do that, then your price stays good. We did recently add kind of a caveat if any particular, because with the supply chain disruptions, some people are taking advantage of situations, things like that. So say there was a sudden spike in roofing went up 25%, month over month. We do reserve the right to request the difference outside of 10%. If something goes up more than 10%, we might come back to customers. We don't plan on leveraging that, but we did, with the kind of the madness of the world right now, we did kind of have to add that as a clause of the contracts.
Which makes sense.
And fundamentally, though, it does seem like things are stable from a pricing standpoint. So it does seem like, despite the fact that the trades have gone up and most material costs have gone up, but lumber's shot through the roof. Well, lumber's kind of come back down to a reasonable level, and it's absorbing some of these other cost increases. So it does seem like we're in a stable environment right now, and that feels good.
Yes.
No, I've never seen a dare exercise the escalation clause. I'm almost 100% certain we have not done that.
Is it my turn now, Chuck?
Yes, sorry, Katie.
Just kidding. This is a great question from Molly. How much do you help with permits, and does turnkey versus sweat equity play a role in that?
So how much do we help in permits? We write and prepare the building permits. You administer them with the jurisdiction. For most jurisdictions, I would say the things that, it's really not a lot. There's a little bit of back and forth that we can be involved with in kind of tweaking or modifying or kind of answering questions with the jurisdiction. The one thing that I would tell homeowners to be prepared for, depending on the jurisdiction, is some require very detailed like plot plans, like down to like where every tree is on your property and all of the grade slopes. That's not something we handle. Most branches will have like a civil engineer they can put you in contact with that can give you like a topo of your property and sort of do a detailed plot plan for you. And then some properties require what they call a geotechnical report, like a soils test report. The same person, the same office that does the plot plans usually can run the soils test for you as well. So you'd be handling that and coordinating that separately from us. But if you've got those things done, when we write the building permits for you, that tends to be a complete package that you can breeze through the process pretty well with. Anything different?
And fun fact, you can budget for those things too. So if you do have to have someone do a professional plot plan, you can use your construction loan to pay for that.
Yeah, that'd be considered a site development cost, and you can put that in your loan. Okay. I think we flapped our gums enough for one day.
That was fun. That was a good one.
Okay, thanks for all the questions, you guys. It's really productive when people ask questions, so we appreciate it. And at the end of the day, we build Oregon, Washington, Idaho, Arizona, so we're not sure where you're at. So we would just really encourage you to go talk to a homeownership counselor. If you've got lending questions, they can put you in contact with construction financing team. So don't hesitate, kind of get started on planning this out and having a conversation, and hopefully it'll work out for you. So have a great day, everybody. Thanks, Molly. Thanks, Maria.